Hello children. So welcome to AIMS India online classes. So today we will be continuing the part 3 version of plants from science. So plants children, so they are very important in our life. Yes or no? So plants play a very important role in our life. So how? We'll just see. Like plants are useful to our lives. One cannot exist without plants. So is it true children? Yes, obviously. So we will not be able to live without plants, like what the air we breathe, the oxygen, and what the food we eat, like vegetables, fruits, all these all come from plants. So they are producing food for us. They are giving food for us, and without food we cannot live. We in the sense not only human beings, even animals also. So no other living beings cannot live. So plants are very useful to our lives. And plants are living things, and all living things produce young ones of their kind, that is, they reproduce. In the sense, because plants are living things, what they do, like our human beings and the animals, they also give birth to their young ones of their own kind. For example, apple tree and apple tree give birth to another apple tree. No, a hibiscus plant gives birth to another hibiscus plant. So they also give birth to other plants of their own kind. So this we call as reproduction. And reproduction is an important process for continuity of life on earth, which is found in all living beings like humans, plants, animals, insects, etc. So reproduction, what is it? This is an important process for continuing of life. No, so as we said before, when the plant is giving birth to another plant, in the sense the life of plants is going on, it is going continued on the earth. No, same like an human being gives birth to other human being. An animal gives birth to another animal. So one after other, these living things, their life starts continuing on the earth. Okay. And this is how, so life is going to circulate, in the sense it's just like a cycle, one after the other. So we have the continuity of life on the earth. Reproduction in plants takes place by following methods. So how does this reproduction takes place? How does this giving birth of new plants takes place in plants? Like one is reproduction through seeds. So we get new plants through seeds. Okay children? So when you sow seeds, then you get a new plant. Then the other one is reproduction through spores. Spores means, so spores means reproductive cell, so which is responsible for reproduction. And what is the other one now? So reproduction through different parts of plants. So as we learned, like reproduction through different parts of plants, that is stem and roots, then nodes and all that, leaves. So all this, so even through these different parts of plants, reproduction takes place. No, so we already learned that it is like asexual reproduction. Clear children? So this is how reproduction takes place, and we're just going to learn about the reproduction through seeds, like how through seeds the reproduction takes place in a plant. Now most plants reproduce through seeds. So most of the plants, as we know, so they get reproduction through seeds. Okay, when we sow seed, we'll get another new plant. And flowers are reproductive organ of the plant. Then what are the reproductive organs children here? Flower. Okay, from flowers we will be getting seeds. So that is why we say flowers are reproductive organ of the plant. Now seed from a flower germinates to develop into a seedling, which grows in the presence of sufficient air, water and sunlight. So seed from a flower. Now we'll have a seed from the flower, that is going to germinate to develop into a seedling. Okay, and when it is getting proper air, water and sunlight, what happens? It starts growing as a new plant. Okay children, so here flowers grows into fruits and fruits contain seeds. How do we get seeds? From the flower. First you will get a bud, then a flower, then it grows as a fruit, and then from that fruit we are going to get the seeds. Okay children, so and now when this is germinated, when this seed is germinated, then it is going to give us a new plant. Like suppose if you see here in, now see children how the seed is going to take birth as a plant here. So when we sow the seed into the soil, then it starts growing in these forms, like the embryo, and then here you have the seed coat. So seed coat is nothing but the outer cover of the seed, okay, to protect the seed, and then you have the cotyledon, and you can see the roots formed. In the third stage you start seeing the roots formation again here at last. So you have seen the leaves coming above the ground. So until the first leaf come, until then the seed is going to give the energy to the plant. The seed itself, it stores the energy, and until the first leaves come, so until that stage the seed is going to protect from the energy. It is going to provide the energy to the plant. So like this the new plant starts coming on the soil. Clear children? Now this is about the reproduction through seeds. Now we'll see the structure of flower. So as we learned that flower is very important in the plant. Why? Because so flower is mainly responsible for reproduction. Okay, and here flower structure, like how it is, we are going to learn. Like flower has pedicel, petals, sepals, stamens and pistil. So what are the main parts of the flower children? They are pedicel, petals, sepals, stamens and pistil. If you see here in the diagram, it is very clearly given here. So what are petals here? So the colored part here, no, like these are petals, and sepals, like the green part here, this one is sepal, and stamen is what? Both anther and filament. This is the anther children. So actually these are the male parts of the flower. So he can see a stem type of part here, so which is holding the anther. Okay, and this is known as filament, and anther is the swollen part where you have got pollens here. So you will be having pollens here. Okay, and what is pistil here? And this is the pistil. The total stigma, style, ovary, 3 together is called as pistil. This is the female part of the flower. Okay, and this is stamen, is the male part of the flower. Clear? And pedicel. So pedicel, what is pedicel? A small green stick like structure which holds the flower on the stem is called pedicel. See here you are having it. So it is holding the flower on the stem. So this one is called as pedicel. Clear children? Now thalamus. Thalamus, the top of the pedicel forms a flat disc-like structure. This is called thalamus. And the thalamus holds all the other parts of the flower on it. So children, if you observe in the picture here you have seen a part, receptacle. So this is nothing but thalamus. The other name for this is thalamus. So where is it? It is on the top of the pedicel here, on the top of the pedicel, which forms a flat disc-like structure. And what does this do? It holds all the other parts of the flower on it. Okay, so this is thalamus children. Okay, clear? Now, so we learn about calyx. Okay, calyx. The outermost cup-shaped green structure is the calyx. Nothing but the sepal here. Calyx is nothing but the sepal, like the outermost cup-shaped green structure. So this one. Okay, the sepals are nothing but the calyx. Okay, it consists of sepals. That's what. And now we'll see about the corolla. What is this? The whole of petals next to calyx is known as corolla, and these are brightly colored in most of the flowers. So corollas are nothing but the petals, the whole of petals, the whole of petals. See here. So they are colored, they are brightly colored, and this is nothing but the arrangement of flowers. Whole is nothing but the arrangement of flowers. Okay, children. Whole is nothing but the arrangement of flowers, and these petals next to calyx is known as corolla, and they have got beautiful colors in most of the flowers. Now androecium. What is androecium? It is the third inner wall of a complete flowers, in the sense the petals. So you have got petals arranged in layers. Okay, and what is androecium? Androecium is the third inner wall of a complete flower, and it is composed of stamens. Here if you see stamens. Okay, and each stamen has two parts. Each stamen, what it is having? It is two parts. What is that? It is filament and anther. Okay, this total part is known as androecium. It is the third inner wall of a complete flower. Clear, children? So this is the male parts of the flower. Okay, now let us see more about this androecium. As we said that this is the third inner wall of a complete flower. It is composed of androecium. So androecium is the third inner wall of a complete flower. What is androecium, children? It is the third inner wall of a complete flower. It is composed of 5 stamens. So are you able to see stamens here? Yes, anther and filament together, they are called as stamens. So this androecium is the third inner wall of a complete flower. And how it is? It is composed of 5 stamens. It has got 5 stamens, and each anther has 2 lateral lobes joined side by side. So each anther, see this anther, it has got 2 lateral lobes. If you see here, children, this part, it is divided into 2. I mean, we cannot see the division, but you can see a small mark like it as 2. Okay, there are 2 lateral lobes joined like side by side. And what are lobes? Something like hanging part. Okay, and each anther, as we said, it has got 2 lobes, lateral lobes. Within anthers, numerous pollen grains are stored. Again, in this anther, what you can see, children? You can see so many pollen grains. Like if you see a picture directly of a flower, or you can see a flower, then you can see small dots type of substances on this anther. Okay, those are called as pollen grains. Okay, they are stored in anthers, and these pollen grains are the male reproductive units of a flower. So what are these pollen grains? They are the male reproductive units of the flower. Okay, children, now this is about the androecium. Okay, like it is the third inner wall, and it has composed of it is composed of 5 stamens, and each anther has got 2 lateral lobes. Okay, and within anthers you have got so many pollen grains, and these pollen grains, they do the reproductive part as a male organ of the flower. Clear? Now we'll go to the gynoecium. Okay, what is gynoecium? So it is the innermost wall of a complete flower in the gynoecium, and the other name of gynoecium is pistil. You can also call it as pistil. So if you see here in the picture, So these parts, stigma, style and ovary. So these all together are called as pistil. This is the innermost wall of a complete flower. This is the innermost, which is inside the flower, completely inside the flower. And this hole is known as gynoecium. And the unit of gynoecium is called carpel. So the unit of gynoecium is called as carpel, and the swollen base of it is ovary. So here if you see children, the swollen base in the bottom, okay, inside the flower is known as ovary. See here, it is here, this part, and which holds ovules in it. What do you have in it? What do you have in ovary? It has got ovules, okay. And the long tube-like part emerging from the ovary is called a style. So from here, if you see, there is a tube-like part, long tube-like part, which is started from the ovary, okay. And this is called a style. So here you can see this in this picture, okay, children. And the apex of the style is slightly swollen and sticky, and it is called stigma. So this is the stigma, this part here. So this is the apex in the sense the ending part here, and the apex of the style is slightly swollen, okay, and sticky, it is called stigma. This is like swollen, slightly swollen, and it is sticky also. If you can try, please try to touch this part in a flower, children. You feel it sticky, and this part is called as stigma, okay. So from the starting point, if you count here, this pistil, it starts with stigma, and then it is connected with this style, that is a long tube like structure, and at the end you have got a swollen part called ovary, and inside it you have got ovules, okay children. And what does this stigma do? Stigma catches the pollen grains during pollination. What does this stigma do? It is going to catch the pollen. Where are the pollens? Here on the anther, okay. So stigma is going to catch these pollen grains during pollination, okay children. So this is how the reproduction takes place in the flower. Clear? Now we'll see the functions of flower. Children, different parts of a flower perform different but specific functions. So until now we learned about the plant and how they function. Different parts of the plant function, like roots, how they do. They're going to absorb the soil nutrients and the water. Stem is going to supply the water to the rest of the plant. Leaf is going to prepare food for the plant. So as the parts of the plant have got different works, here even flowers have got different functions. Parts of flowers also got different functions, okay children. So we'll learn how do they work. Now here the role of calyx. So what does it do? Calyx is nothing but sepals, okay children, and this calyx covers and protects all other parts of flower within a bud. So here you can see here, this part, sepals, what does it do? It is going to cover and protect all other parts of flower within a bud, okay. So this is the role of the calyx. And now what about role of corolla, that is petals? And corolla is also a protective floral member, okay. Corolla is also a protective floral member. Floral is nothing but which belong to the flower, okay. We call them as floral. And corolla is also a protective floral member. It protects androecium and gynoecium of a flower. So it protects androecium and gynoecium of a flower. So what are androecium and gynoecium, children? Like as we learnt that androecium are the male parts and gynoecium are the female parts of a flower. So where we get anther, filament as stamen in androecium, and we get stigma, style and ovary as female parts in gynoecium. Okay, so this we can also call it as pistil. And in some flowers the corolla are colorful. So in some flowers we can say that the petals are colorful, no, in so many different colors and sizes and shapes the petals are available. And some other flowers have nectar and scent glands as the base of the corolla, in the sense as the base here. So you will have nectar and scent glands, that is a very good perfume smell. So you will be having this type of glands at the base of the corolla. Okay children, so what happens because of these? So these corolla attracts insects towards the flower, and these insects help in pollination while visiting flowers. So what happens? So corolla is attracting insects towards the flower because of this nectar and scent glands. So nectar is a sweet type of syrup. Nectar is sweet type of syrup where the birds or the insects, they would like to have it, and even they get attracted for the good smell, scent like smell of the flowers. So because of this, what happens? The insects come to the flower, and these insects, they help in pollination. Okay, they help in pollination. Okay children, so when the pollination process goes on, so definitely we will be able to get seeds, vegetables and all that from the flower. Okay, clear? Now let us see about the role of androecium. So role of androecium. So how it is? The production and storage of pollen grains are the main two functions of androecium. So the production and storage of pollen grains. So it is going to produce and store the pollen grains. So these are the two main functions, two main works of the androecium. It is the male reproductive organ of the flower. So as we learned children, so we said that androecium is the male reproductive organ of the flower. So if you see this anther, no, so this anther will be having pollen grains. You can see in the picture here. So, and it is attached to the filament. Okay, so androecium, what does it do? It is going to produce and store these pollen grains. Okay, these pollen grains. Okay, and why we do call it as male reproductive organ? Because when these pollen grains enter into stigma, okay, then the reproduction starts. Okay, so this is the role of androecium, and now we'll see the role of gynoecium. Okay, so what is that? Gynoecium is the female reproductive organ of a plant. It holds ovary which is transformed into fruit after fertilization. Okay, so gynoecium is the female reproductive part. So this part, female reproductive part. So this all like stigma, then here this was stigma, and this ovary and style. Okay, these are the female organs of a plant, and it holds ovary. That's what it holds, ovary, which is transformed into fruit after fertilization. So what happens? This flower, after fertilization, what happens? It is going to shape as a fruit. Okay, again in the fruit, what we'll be having children? We'll have seeds. No, the ovules within the ovary are modified into seeds. So the ovules here, see this, are you able to see here children? So these things, so they are able to modified into seeds, into seeds like this. So you can see the picture representation here children. So like how this ovary is going to transfer the ovules as seeds, and see, and again this seed, how it is going to give birth to a new plant. Clear children? So these are the functions of flowers. So I'll be ending here. Hope you have understood. So we'll be continuing in the tomorrow's sessions. So thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.